Hey, my name is Violet Price. I'm directing the feature God's Country that just wrapped its eighth day of shooting. Um, it was one of the best days of my life. It's always been my dream to make a movie, and it's taken me years and years of work and an insane amount of luck and grace and the kindness of my community to get to the point where I can make a movie. And every day making a movie with the people I'm making a movie with has been the most meaningful experience of my life, and I'm so grateful for it, and I'm so high on it. I cannot even believe how good it feels to have your dream come true. And this movie, I know what we still have a lot to shoot, but what we have so far has been so fucking good. I can't even believe what we have in the can. I'm so excited about it. I'm on cloud nine, and it's been this incredible experience so far. And like working with the people I'm working with, especially my DP, especially everyone, especially the producer, especially the actors, who took my script that I spent years on and made it 100 times better, like by just doing so many cool things to it, and our wardrobe and our makeup. And I look in the monitor and I see something that's the most beautiful movie I've ever seen. I'm close to it. Maybe your taste will vary, maybe whatever, but like I'm proud of what I'm doing and it's great. And I've just been really in full blown movie mode. And what I want to talk about is I want to talk about the phrase trans new wave, which has been a suggested term for the if I am part of a film movement. I don't know, like I don't want to like inflate my own ego or anything. I'm not trying to, but there are a lot of people like myself making movies in the way I'm making them all of a sudden. And Rachel Kendra is making a documentary or like a behind the scenes thing on my movie, a documentary. I don't know. I'll let them put it in their words. But they are shooting a bunch of footage with me, and they're on set every day. And what like it's cool enough, basically, to be honest, like living my dream of making a movie, but having someone who believes in who believes in art enough to um, want to document me and think that what I'm doing is worthwhile. And also just having someone who like looks at me that way, like who looks at me as valid enough as an artist to bother with, is very validating. Like it's very cool to have a very talented person. And one thing about them that is I've been thinking about a lot while I'm on set and like working and seeing my shit come together, like finally like the thing I've wanted to make is being made and it's beautiful. I think about when I first met Rachel. One of the first things she said, she was one of the first people to give me money to my Kickstarter. She gave me $300, which is for someone I had like 300 followers at the time. I don't even like know how she came by me, to believe in me and give me that kind of money when like they're not a millionaire, like none of us are, right? To give me that kind of money because they believed in what I was doing and that art mattered was like incredibly touching. And I don't like the term trans new wave because I don't think it just sounds kind of college dorm room. It sounds generic. It doesn't mean anything. When I hear trans new wave, I hear a term that sounds like it was made up for an article. Whereas what I would like to prefer them, and I also don't think it speaks to what we're doing. Like I don't feel like I am trans. Like that is, I mean, I am, and it's part of the deal, obviously. But I don't feel like that's the most interesting thing about me or my movies. I don't think it's that like I think there's a lot more going on, and I would also say that a lot of the people in the movement with me are not just trans. To be honest, we're all also sex workers. Maybe coincidentally, maybe or not. It hasn't really been discussed how that just happens to be the way. And there's like a lot of other things in common, but I think the better term that would be more meaningful to me that I think would express what we're doing more is trans community films. Because the one thing we all do have in common as a movement, because I don't think when someone else is trans, I don't think we necessarily have that in common. Because I do not know what their relationship is with it, and there are lots of different types of trans people. And although we are political allies, and in the world, I believe like politics has created a situation where we all need to back each other up. Period. There are many tribes and many things that I don't think two people being trans is significant. It's like having blue eyes. Whereas I think what makes a lot of the movies that I'm excited about right now, and you know maybe this is just in my mind how I imagine my peers, but the movies I get excited about is I get excited when I see someone on Twitter specifically fundraising and raising money from their community. Like that's why I think trans community films is a much better term because I don't think we're just trans, but I think there is a trans community. I think there are community, there are personality traits we all seem to share, or like very loosely, or philosophies or approaches. And I think none of us could do what we were doing because we're all fucking outsiders. We're all weirdos and we're all outcasts. Everyone I'm following that's making trans films, and I say that with respect. I don't think we could get these movies made if we didn't have a community, and I think that's what makes the movies important. That's the essential thing that makes the movies what they are. That's what makes it a movement. That's the core of it. And I would really like to suggest, very humbly, call it whatever you want. Trans New Wave is fine. We can have more than one name too. It's not competitive. But I've decided while I've been working with Rachel and as she's inspired me to really like have a good perspective to understand what I'm doing and how I want to frame it and like why it's important and why I can even do it. Like never forget that I was somebody with good ideas for a few ideas, like good ideas and nothing else. And now I am somebody who's making a movie with the most talented people I've ever met in my entire life, who share my attitude. So anyway, I just wanted to say I just feel like the trans community is a better way to define the movies because that's the people who are making these movies. Like that's a more accurate expression of what we're doing. But there's a specific community that you opt into, that you choose to be a part of, and like you support the artists you believe in. And the voting with your dollar thing is real. And just like the fact that we all are being created by we're almost being algorithmically brought into existence because the way social media works is it like creates movies because like it's just a natural part of the ecosystem. And I think that's very fascinating when you bring the element of the internet, is how the internet are creating these movies, how they're more an expression of a community that's been created almost algorithmically. And this is like one of the outputs of it. And that is the kind of movies we're all making as a community. I feel a lot more comfortable. Like a lot of these people I haven't met, I like Vera Drew. I just know that she's trans and she made a movie. And like, do I consider myself her peer? Like, I think that'd be arrogant of me, especially when I have everything out yet. Like maybe one day. But I do feel comfortable if she raised money off Kickstarter and I made money off Kickstarter, saying that in a sense we are a product of the same community. And I feel like it's more meaningful than it's a way to meaningfully connect movies in a real sense of community without having. It just makes a lot of sense to me. If the community is making movies, we should call them community films. And it's a good thing to call it too, because if we are branding our movement, to be completely honest, like what better branding is there than that, like we are a community standing together. I think that's a brand. I think we are politically forced to do that anyway. I think it's foolish to think that we could have a movement and anything in art that's not going to get any pushback. I mean, spoilers, but I just think we are a community in these other movies we make, and I think that's a much better name than any other name. And that is what I will call the movement that I would like to be a part of. And I invite everyone else to use the same name. I think it's cool. I think if you can come up with something better, I'm on board. Let it be a conversation. Use anything you want. But for me, I think there's something very beautiful about being proud that, like, I don't think of myself as trans per se. You know what I mean? Like in like the larger identity. Like I think I've really moved on. I think being trans is something you might think of yourself in the first year, or maybe not. If it was a different relationship with it, I'm not trying to prescribe. I'm just saying whereas something like Trans New Wave does not feel like it's connecting with me. I do feel like I am part of a trans community. I do feel like the people I tweet with and that I Twitter Spaces with, and that I like have come to care about just through social media and just my daily scroll, like just through like getting to know people online. Algorithmically, I guess, if you will. My friend Felicia says trust the algorithm, and like, she's a smart ass lady. But I do feel part of a community that is called the trans Twitter community. There's no other term for what it is, and I do feel comfortable saying that my work is of that. Anyway, to close it out, I told you I smoked a dab. This was part of the deal. But oh man, to do such a good job and to get home early enough to have time to take a dab and to have tomorrow off before I jump back in and work with Chapo Trap House the next day, like. Fucking, I'm making movies, motherfuckers. I'm making movies. Anyway, thank you for my long video, and thank you for like my dumb point. I'm really excited, and thank you for letting me make movies at the end of the day. Thank you.